Around 1 p.m. on Monday, February 10, 2025, Miss Yetunde Lawal left with her close friend for a child naming ceremony in Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. They had been invited by the celebrant to come and assist them in cooking the foods meant to be served to the guests at the occasion. The two friends arrived at the venue and, as requested, they joined the other volunteers in the kitchen to help the celebrants prepare the necessary dishes for the ceremony. After the child was successfully named and the guests entertained at the reception venue, Yetunde received a phone call from someone she knew. After she ended the call, she dropped what she was doing and then told her friend that she was leaving. When the friend asked her where she was going, Yetunde responded that she wanted to visit a friend. Sadly, she never revealed the name of the person she was going to visit, nor did she tell her friend the location of the house. After this short conversation with her friend, Yetunde packed her bags and then rushed out of the venue without even eating the food she was meant to eat. Little did the friend know that the next time she would see Yetunde again, it wouldn't be as the vibrant young woman she had cooked alongside that day. It would be in another kitchen, only that this time, Yetunde wouldn't be preparing any food. She would be the one on the chopping board. After the ceremony ended, Yetunde's friend returned home. However, later in the day, she received a phone call from Yetunde's mother asking her if they were still at the child naming ceremony. The friend told her that the ceremony was over and that they had gone home. The mother then informed her that Yetunde hadn't returned home, even though it was already getting very late. The friend was surprised because she thought that she must have returned home by then. She explained to the mother that while at the party, Yetunde received a phone call from someone and then hurriedly left the ceremony to meet the caller. She told the mother that her daughter never revealed the identity of the person she was meeting, nor did she tell her the location of the person's house. Hearing this information, the family began searching for their daughter. They called her friends from school and also relatives to find out if Yetunde had visited them, but sadly, the response was always the same. Yetunde did not leave the party to visit anybody that her family knew. The next day, after all the phone calls and efforts made by the family to locate their daughter proved abortive, the father visited a police station in the area to file a missing persons report on behalf of his daughter. After the report was made, the police swung into action immediately. They asked for Yetunde's phone number and then used it to access her call log. The police retrieved the phone number of the last caller she spoke to before leaving the ceremony and then began tracking the caller's location. Their tracking led them to a suspect living in the Ofa Garage area of Ilorin, the capital city of Kwara State. The police immediately visited the identified location and then arrested a male suspect identified as Abdul Rahman Muhammad Bello. Abdul Rahman was said to be a Muslim cleric commonly known as Afa. He was also said to be the nephew of a well-known and prominent Islamic cleric in Ilorin, late Sheikh Isiaq Muhammad Bello, who passed away on the 26th of December 2024. Abdul Rahman's father is said to be alive, but there is no information on his mother. Yetunde Lawal was a 25-year-old final year student at Kwara State College of Education. She was described by her friend as someone who never stayed out late or engaged in things that would be considered out of character by many, which also explained why they were so worried when she didn't return home that day. When the police questioned Abdul Rahman about Yetunde, he claimed not to know her or her whereabouts. The police then asked him to lead them to his house so that they could conduct a search. Abdul Rahman led the team of policemen to his one-room apartment. Inside the house, the police found a white pair of shoes in the bedroom. These were suspected to have belonged to Yetunde. They also found various bottles containing herbal preparations placed on a mat in the bedroom. Abdul Rahman's kitchen looked like a typical meat slaughterhouse. Inside there, the police found a table that had the typical appearance of that of meat sellers in the market. They also found a cutlass, a knife, multiple plastic containers, one of which contained body parts preserved with ice blocks. He had also extracted some blood, which he stored in a small plastic bottle suspected to be kept alongside the body parts for ritual purposes. Nevertheless, Abdulrahman would give a much more incredible theory as to why those items were found in his house. After all these incriminating items were recovered, Abdulrahman had no other option than to confess to the horrific crime. He told the police that he didn't take Yetunde's life and that he was just a victim of circumstance. He confirmed to the police that he was a Muslim cleric and that he was about to gain admission into Kwara State University. He claimed that Yetunde was his girlfriend and that he met her on Facebook, after which he got her phone number and then began keeping in touch with her. According to him, Yetunde had informed him that they had a ceremony at 1 p.m. that day and that she would attend the function after school. He disclosed that after he called Yetunde to come over to his place, she arrived some minutes after 3 p.m. Since she didn't wait to eat at the ceremony, she complained to him that she was hungry. Abdulrahman claimed he decided to go buy food for her. However, before he left the house, Yetunde was having trouble breathing. He said she had informed him long before the visit that she was asthmatic. Regardless of her state of health, at that moment, he proceeded to go buy the food for her. On his return, he was shocked to find out that she was no longer alive. He claimed he was confused about what to do and couldn't cry out for help. To avoid dealing with the trouble of a girl passing away in his house, he decided to dismember the body and then dispose of it at a refuse dump site. He told the police that everything happened on the same day Yetunde visited him. He denied killing her for ritual purposes, citing that none of her body parts were missing. Based on the kind of tools found in his kitchen, the police believed that he had done something similar before. However, Abdulrahman denied the claim and also made it clear that he was just a victim of circumstance and that he had never done something of that nature before. His confession was ridiculous, to say the least, because how could doing what he did be the only option in the situation he claimed to have found himself? The fact that he disposed of other body parts but preserved some of them inside a bucket of ice blocks already counters his claim of accidental death. Because if truly the aim was to discreetly dispose of her, there wouldn't be any need to preserve any of the parts inside the ice block. It is clear that he intended to use both the preserved parts and the blood in the bottle for suspected ritual purposes. The case had been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation. May her soul rest in peace, and hopefully she gets the justice she deserves. Do you believe Abdulrahman to be a victim of circumstance as he had claimed, or you think he was just cooking up stories in order not to be considered a ritualist? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel so that whenever there is an update in this case, you would be notified. Thank you for watching and stay safe.